The desert was once little more than a desert-strewn wildscape where Bedouin tribes roamed the sands and a huddle of settlers crowded around the banks of the Lifeblood Creek. Established on the 2nd of December 1971, the Federation of Seven Emirates bordered in an area less than 84,000 square kilometers. The United Arab Emirates now enjoys its unique strategic location slightly south of the Strait of Hormuz, a vital transit point for world crude oil. What was once a nation with a limited presence on the international stage is now trying to shore up its international prestige thanks to its autocrat rulers' ambitions. The young country with massive man-made islands in the shape of the world and ski slopes in one of the most arid corners of the planet is mostly presented as a remarkable success story in building a modern tourist destination with sweeping skyscrapers and gleaming office blocks rising up everywhere. However, behind such a glittering image, there lies a dark truth when it comes to economic corruption. Simply Google money laundering and UAE together and you would be presented with tons of news and reports about the Emirati regime's commitment to what is called a battle against money laundering. Every now and then, various news outlets publish articles in praise of how the nation is positively aligning itself with international rules on combating illicit money flows. But those reliant on such news could be shocked when faced with official reports and evidence presenting the true image of this tiny country's record on the fight against illicit money flow. The southern Persian Gulf state has long tried to build a reputation as the preeminent business hub in the Middle East, with an open economy that welcomes companies and individuals from around the world. However, it has also garnered notoriety as a place where normal rules can at times be ignored or easily sidestepped.
Money laundering can mean the movement of capital from criminal organisations into property or into secretive bank accounts or investments into businesses, but essentially the origin of this money is concealed, and that's the process of money laundering.
The economic heart of Seven United Emirates, Dubai, which is presented as an insight into the future of cities, has a finger in many pies. Channeling dirty money from the western part of the hemisphere to the estate and back is no exception. Terrorists and international drug traffickers can simply launder their money via investing in the Dubai real estate market. All that is needed is millions of dollars in cash, and with few questions ever asked, one could buy any estate they wish. The nuts and bolts of the Emirati regime's hand in facilitating international money laundering comes into the spotlight when the regime's reluctance to take decisive action also comes into perspective.
The UAE has been labelled as the capital of money laundering in the Middle East by Transparency International, largely because they account for the largest volume of illicit financial flows. So, whereas in the past, this role in the Middle East might have been shared more between Beirut or Bahrain or at push Cyprus, now Dubai really dominates this role, and it is a capital mainly because it accounts for the greatest volume, not because it's particularly unique. It operates like all kind of tax havens. It offers secrecy for those who wish to store their money there, but because it accounts for the most volume, that's why it's the capital of money laundering in the Middle East.
It was last November when a US NGO detailed a number of disturbing facts implicating both Saudi Arabia and the UAE in financing terrorism in the Middle East. The Frontiers of Freedom pointed to the UAE's money transfer system, gold market, and real estate as vital domains for money laundering by smugglers and terrorists. But the story doesn't end here. The United Arab Emirates is not the destination of choice for drug traffickers, organised crime cartels, and terrorists only. Legitimate foreign investors also regard it as a remarkable business opportunity thanks to its tax-free, duty-free, and free zone arrangements. The Emirati tax system proves to be a popular loophole in the international fight against tax evasion.
Tax havens work in a variety of ways. Each tax haven operates differently. They offer different incentives to attract people's money. Somewhere like Dubai will have a great deal of financial secrecy. There's no tax at all, which really makes it an attractive destination for those who wish to evade accountability and wish no questions to be asked about where their money has come from.
The enterprising and tax-shy can simply set up a company in one of the UAE's free trade zones and rent office spaces. Consequently, they are offered a residence visa with a minimum stay requirement of just 1 day every 6 months, along with bank accounts for both the individual and the company. They can later claim tax residence in the UAE, a country that levies no income tax. Ultimately, they will be rewarded with Emirati citizenship. The year 2018 started with good news for the UAE's rulers, as it was labelled as the least corrupt country in the Middle East and North Africa. It was ranked in the 25 least corrupt nations in a list of 180 countries. But 2019 was not as pleasant as the year before.
Dubai is a destination of choice for tax dodgers and money launderers based on the favourable environment. Dubai has many benefits from its geographical position, so Afghanistan, Pakistan has become a location for criminal organisations from these countries, as well as from Somalia, and a great deal of European businesses will seek out Dubai as a location.
The EU's move to blacklist the Emirati regime comes just over a year after the EU agreed to name and shame a small number of nations as part of its efforts to fight opaque practices that facilitate tax avoidance by multinationals and individuals.